Hey, what's up, guys? What's that? Oh, one of the doggies. Here at the country house. So I'm just gonna wait for some people to join and not for the doggies to knock me down. Here in Colombia. At my dad's place where I used to live. Let's turn it around. Let's just show us and wait for somebody to come. Cirilo. Cirilo. Relax, buddy. I see somebody's already in the chat. Watching the live, in the chat. Cirilo. Shh, shh, shh. That's one of the things about doggies. Hey, Handsome B, Wonder Boy, and Mikey, how are you guys? Yeah, it's a beautiful day here at my dad's place. Cirilo is a noisy little guy. It's one of my kids. And let me go. Oh, let me see if I can switch to my mobile data. I forgot to. I'm using the house Wi-Fi here, the home Wi-Fi, but I wanted to use the mobile data instead, and I forgot. It's a beautiful day here in Colombia. I hope you guys are doing well. Please do remember to give this a like. Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. Handsome boy, B Wonder Boy. Handsome B Wonder Boy. We became friends back in Playa del Carmen. So what's up, Mike, and what's up, y'all? So this is my dad's place. Cool. While a couple of more people come on, I got news to share with you that I did research on, especially last night. That's the neighbor's country house over there. And this is another country house over here. And this is a little mini football field that belongs to that neighbor's house right there. Good fences make good neighbors, guys. Good fences make good neighbors, and you can hear even my neighbors. Hey, Karina, how are you, Karina? Karina from California, living in California. This is my dad's place. Hola, Karina. Hey, everybody, what's up? How are you? So, I'm trying to see. I'm going to see if I can, in a little while. Remember, guys, if you like this, please give it a like. Well, if you like the country house too, but of course, this live stream, remember the likes always help, only if you like it. So this is my dad's country house, and the neighbor over there is cutting the grass behind. This is Guarne, the countryside, Guarne. This is about 35 minutes from part of Medellin to the Medellin-Bogota highway. The Medellin-Bogota highway is down there. And this is all Guarne. Let me get out of the sun's way because the sun here gets crispy, gives me a redneck. If you guys are hearing the wind, if the wind is maybe messing with the audio, you let me know. And that way I can use the wind mic. I'll go back into the house and into my bag and get the wind mic in case the audio is, because sometimes it gets a little windy up here. And this is higher up. Sounds great. Okay, good. Excellent. These are the doggies. This is my dad's country house. I used to live here. I lived here until June of 2021, last year. And it's an old, simple brick or adobe country house. Adobe. And here's one of the doggies here. My cousin's dog. Her name is Martina. Martina. She's a German Shepherd. And then there's Lalita and Maximo, the lab. Marti, where you go, Martina? That's Martina. Martina, hey baby girl, how you doing, Marti? How you doing, sweetie? And then Maximo is playing with the little one. Maximo is my cousin's dog, and so is Martina. But the little one, Lalita, the little one, that's mine. She's mine. I rescued her in Guarne when I had my motorcycle. I tried to bring her home by motorbike, and she jumped out of my backpack, and I had to leave. And she almost got hit by a car on the highway, so I had to go back to town and put my motorbike in a parking garage and take her by bus back home here to the country house. Oops, I lost the stability. One second, guys. 1 second. Okay. Sometimes when I'm moving this around, it goes crazy with the gimbal and everything. This is Cirilo. He's mine. Too, I adopted him when he was a pup, when he was only like 4 weeks old. No, 5, 6 weeks old. Him and his sister. Let me show you the other kids. That's Zels. He belongs to a couple that are friends of a cousin of mine, and he's been here for 7 years. The couple said if they could leave him here for a month, and a month has been 7 years, right, Zels? Zels is a noble big guy. He's a kind of a hunting dog, but he doesn't hunt anything. That's Kayla. Kayla right there. That's my aunt's doggy. This is my dad's place, but my dad doesn't live here. And that is also my dad's. I used to live in that small house there, which is unfinished. It's not finished, still like that. And she's mine, Saraswati. Saraswati's the brown one. She's Cyrilo's sister, Cirilo and her. Those two are siblings. She's an Australian Shepherd dog over there. There goes Subhadra. She's also mine. I adopted her. Subhadra. They're only about a year and something old. Year and 6 months old. These two are sisters. They're mine too. I adopted them. Parvati and Shanti. Shanti means peace in Hindi, and Parvati is Shiva's wife. And the Parvati Valley in India, in the Himalayas, in the state of Himachal Pradesh, where I visited back in 2019. That's my dad's truck. But my dad doesn't live here. He lives in Canada. So just giving you a little bit of the layout of the country house here. That's my dad's truck. It's a Ford Explorer. And I used to live in that small house, and we're still working on it. Just not enough money right now to do everything that we're doing in our lives with my dad. So, yeah, this is my dad's country house, and this is Guaranda. This is Colombia. It's beautiful. This is Colombia. So, let's talk about what's going on in the world of travel. Yeah, this is my dad's place, and I do love dogs, and I adopted 6 of them. And my dad's property is where the doggies are, with this big old pine tree right here. Big old, tall old pine tree there. Very tall, very high pine tree. And that house and that property is just, we have the property's fenced in, and we have a fence running through the middle, because those doggies, some of those doggies don't get along with these doggies here, so that they don't hurt each other or kill each other. And this is my dad's place. This is my dad's place, and that's the washroom area where we got the washing machine and the washboard and everything. And this property, some people might want to know property prices. This whole estate, not the house. I'm talking about the whole property. The whole property is 3,000 square meters of land. 3,000 square meters of land with the two edifices, or 2 buildings here, like this house, the main house, and that little house there, little house on the prairie. It's approximately 285 million pesos. I had it appraised 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I had it appraised, and now the neighbor's blasting music. If you can hear the music, let me know. Sometimes the neighbors are like that. And 280 million pesos, Colombian pesos. You got to just think about what's the current exchange rate, US dollar, whatever, to get a good idea in Colombia for the property prices. Because if I tell you something, it might be that today, but tomorrow it might be different in dollars, because you have to think about the conversion, the exchange rate conversion thing. So right now, I know 2 days ago, I don't know how that has changed in the last 2 or 3 days. About 3 days ago, the exchange rate was, you would get for a US dollar in Colombia, you would get approximately 3,777 pesos per US dollar. but of course you got to factor in that people they charge there we go, trying to so you can see what I'm the video's a little there we go. If I move out of the way, yeah, my camera's a little sensitive to the light. Still haven't learned how to do that, so you can have a better view. And that's another part of the property. The property goes down, and below it's 3,000 square meters, and that's the old outdoor kitchen where the previous owners used to make like chorizos and other things like with wood and with a big stove there, and just no water, no running water there, whatever. They just call it the kitchen. Let me see if anybody's asking any questions. Okay, no, nobody's asking anything yet. Yeah, I love doggies. I love doggies all the way through. And let's see, yep, this is a super nice place. Okay, so let's talk. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. And I'm just trying to see where we can get a better view, but this is good right there. Um, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I had to write this information down because I can't remember all of it. And it's not like some other people that have a computer right next to their camera and they're reading off the computer. I gotta tell you the truth. I'm gonna read off some of the information I did research on. And Mikey O'Neill is of Irish descent. His mom and dad, his mother's Irish, his dad was Irish. Rest your dad's soul. I hope he has traveled on to a better place. Your dad and all of that, Mr. O'Neill. So I know Mikey O'Neill, his brother John O'Neill, Johnny Hollywood, Johnny Cadillac, Johnny Ferrari. He was here in December, all the way back from the old neighborhood in Woodside, Queens, New York, an old Irish American neighborhood, and Donovan's Pub and everything. So, travel news as of last night, and I checked this morning again, and nothing has changed between last night and this morning. Let's start off with Saudi Arabia. About 6 days ago, this month of March, I got this from breakingtravelnews.com. It's a website on the internet called breakingtravelnews.com. And Saudi Arabia said that it dropped all COVID 19 related entry restrictions for holders of tourism visas. So if you are a holder of a tourism visa to Saudi Arabia, then you can fly there. They say no proof of vaccination nor a PCR test to enter the country is required. So they did away, according to this website. Now, don't take my word for it or that website. I don't know how legit all of them are. Um, yeah, man. You're welcome, man. My brother Dennis has been a good friend of John, your brothers, and your John, of my brother, and I've known you guys since we were kids in New York City, there in Queens, New York, when we moved up from South Carolina, when I was almost 12 years old and my brother was almost 10, all the way up to Queens, New York. We moved to Woodside. We lived in Woodside for a good 3 or 4 years before we moved out to Elmhurst, which is near Woodside, but it's over there by the Queens Center Mall. So we always hung out in the old neighborhood, and Mike's brother John used to work at the Cuban Deli over there and everything on Skillman Ave. Anyhow, let's get going. So, so if you guys want to travel to Saudi Arabia and visit Riyadh, the capital city, who of you is interested in visiting Saudi Arabia? I think it's an interesting country to visit. It's on my list. It's not on the high priority list. You got too many countries that are high priority that I want to visit before I check out. So you don't need a COVID certificate. I mean, no PCR test, and you don't need any proof of vaccination. You don't need any proof of vaccination at all, guys. Nothing at all. And there's even no institutional quarantine there. You don't have to quarantine in Saudi Arabia. That's awesome. You don't have to quarantine. All travelers, and even if you're from a red listed country, no problem. You'll be allowed to enter. if you're from a red listed country, and social distancing requirements have been eliminated in Saudi Arabia. So, ouch, you don't have to um, do any social distancing in Saudi Arabia, guys. Yeah, the world is starting to open up. Very few right now, but it is happening. And masks are only required in enclosed public spaces. I don't know which way to look. If it's at that part, or if it's that part, or if it's up at here. Sometimes I forget what I got to look at, but I got to look at over this part right here. Some people complain to me and say, Eddie, you got to learn to make contact with the camera, with the lens. I'm like, sometimes I forget what it is, where it is. I'm so laid back, it's not even funny because I'm looking at my eyes here sometimes, or then I'm looking the other way, but it's over there. But I should just look straight into the camera. And, so Saudi Arabia. Who of you have visited Saudi Arabia? Have any of you visited Saudi Arabia? Or do you want to visit Saudi Arabia? There's a little shack right over here. Not Radio Shack, ouch. It's a little shack where we keep some things and all that. And nice little flowers here. Beautiful flowers. A flower for Karina Garcia. And over there we got bitter oranges. They're called bitter oranges. Naranja agria, or sour oranges on that tree right there. Over there we got little itsy bitsy tangerines. Let me show you the little itsy bitsy tangerines before I continue on to the next country. Do any of you want to visit Saudi Arabia? Have any of you visited Saudi Arabia? These are tiny natural tangerines. They're tiny. They don't grow big like the ones you normally get at the supermarket. Here, this one is a little more like a little oranger now, a little riper for the eating, for the picking. So these are natural little fruit trees, and there's an avocado tree down there somewhere. Two of them, three of them on the property here. And my doggies, and they got neighbors over there. You got other houses there, neighbor's house there. We got that part fenced in too. Good fences make good neighbors, and that's the neighbor's house over there. And there's another one over there. Yeah, it's not on my list big time, but I do want to go. But probably be in 10 or 12 years from now after I've visited all the major countries I want to visit. Like I said, this is my dad's. I lived in this one on the first floor, not on the second. The second floor wasn't really the way it is now, but I did live on the first floor. And these are my children, like I said, my babies. Saraswati, Parvati, Shanti, Cirilo. This is Maximo, and Lalita. So, let's talk a little bit about. Wow, that's awesome that they did away with masks in public. Colombia did away with masks like 2 or 3 weeks ago, max. I remember I posted a video about the masks mandate being dropped. So Colombia did away with it, but only the places where they're still under 70% in terms of a township, like a municipality, a township, a town, or a city. If it's still below 70% fully jabbed in terms of completion of the certificate, health certificate thing, with the jabs, with the injections. If someplace like Guarne 2 weeks ago was under 70%, so they still have to wear masks here in public. But they were at 69%. But I heard as soon as they would reach 70% and over, then they would take off the mandate of wearing masks in public. But when you're going on public transportation here in Colombia, bus, metro, airplanes, inside of Colombia, you still have to wear a mask, even in a taxi or in some enclosed public place where there is like an event and a lot of people are there, then you have to. Like today is voting. Today there is voting in Colombia. The voting here for House of Representatives and Senate, the voting process today. And that's why yesterday a dry law went into effect at 6 p.m. and going all the way until tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. So the nightlife, I did a live stream yesterday in case any of you want to see that. It's a short one. I did it for an hour. Karina was on there. and it was short. It was only an hour long, and I was showing what Parque Lleras was looking like in Provenza and walking up from the metro all along 10th Street. And it's a very important subject right now because Colombians are very worried that Colombia might fall into the hands of left wing people, the politicians that are left wing, meaning like from the socialist, fascist, and communist ideologies. And they want the House and the Senate to be more, like say, stronger in terms of the Democrats in terms of the support. That more Democrats win seats in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. And then the Colombian presidential elections are this year, and they come in May, and it's also on a weekend. And the same thing will happen where a dry law will go into effect on Saturday because Sunday's the voting in May. I don't remember what day. And at 6 p.m., or maybe even a little sooner, they'll have a dry law from Saturday, 6 p.m., all the way until Monday morning until the elections are over and everything. And people are very afraid of a guy by the name of Gustavo Petro, not petroleum, but it's almost the same spelling, Petro, and because he was part of a former communist guerrilla faction called M19 back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and they disbanded as an agreement with the government after they had stormed the Justice Palace in Bogota, taken hostages, killed people, and then their requirements were met by the government that they would hand over whatever hostages they had left and whatever in return for eh, immunity. What is it called? Like political immunity, like not to be processed, judicial process and whatever, and that they could participate in government. And this guy is the presidential candidate, along with some other guys that are Democrats and whatever. So the country is going through some difficult time right now. Some people are afraid. I'm not into politics in terms of talking about this or that, who I stand for, what. I just tell you, I am pro democracy. That's it. Not these things that are going around in the world where people's freedoms are taken from them and no right to speech, no freedom of speech, no freedom of protest, like gathering and protesting government injustices, or when people are unhappy with what the government is doing. I'm pro democracy where we can do that, where we can go out and protest against the government in case we're not happy with what the government is doing. And it's unfortunate that a country like Ukraine that is moving into democracy for the last 20, 25 years has been, let's say, their lives, the Ukrainian people have had their lives upended, their worlds flipped over upside down, belly up. And a lot of people there are just freedom fighters and saying, we're not going, we're staying, we're fighting for freedom and democracy and our way of life. We don't want to fall under control again of people in high power with big guns and big missiles that tell us to shut up or go to some Siberian prison camp if it's that area of the world, or some other thing, or made to disappear like in Venezuela. Even when last 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, when Venezuela had some protests from the people, and then the government cracked down on them, and even some police officials and military officials that were against what was happening, they also went missing, and some were killed. From what I'm told, with the Venezuelan people that I've talked to here in Colombia, I can't guarantee that this information is 100% certain, but that's what the Venezuelan refugees that I've met over the last 2 years and recently have been telling me. So anyway, that's what's happening in Colombia. People want a democratic president to continue in power with these 2022 elections that are happening in May. It's a tumultuous time for Colombians, and the ones that are very rich and have a lot of money are very afraid if Mr. Petro wins. He already declared war on the former president, Mr. Uribe, Alvaro Uribe, according to what some people have told me, because he doesn't like Mr. Uribe because Mr. Uribe was against the rebel groups and everything, from some stories that I've heard, and that if he wins, he's going to go after Mr. Uribe's properties, assets, and take it all away from him. And the buck doesn't stop there, because once they start doing that, they'll go after other rich people, multimillionaires in Colombia, powerful families, rich families, and take what they got to redistribute to the poor. But at the same time, they'll be doing a lot of injustice to innocent people who have worked very hard to, let's say, be the owners of two or three or four properties, and they didn't do any illicit stuff. So it's a crazy time for some Colombians. Me, I'm just relaxed and going with the flow. Hey, let's talk about Ireland. Ireland is big on the news this week. A week ago, Ireland, the luck of the Irish to you, the luck of the Irish. Ireland, a week ago, dropped all COVID 19 related travel restrictions. They said vaccination status is irrelevant. It doesn't matter if you got 20 jabs or if you got -5 jabs. You're welcome to come to Ireland. We want you to come back. Come on, my friends, my good laddies. No, laddies is British. Come on, friends. Come back, friends. Come to Ireland and come to the pot of the end of the rainbow, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, top of the morning tear. Come on, Mikey, you could do this better than I can. You're Irish American. I'm not Irish, but I got a heart of Irishman, of a leprechaun, the fighting Irishman, the fighting Irish. I'm the fighting Colombian American. And because of the United States of America, that country, and I was born and raised there, instilled the desire to fight for my freedom, for my rights, and for the rights of other people and animals. And I will go down swinging. I will never bow my head down to anyone and have it chopped off. Hell no. And I thank the United States of America because the U.S. is a melting pot, a mix of so many nationalities: Irish, German, Italian, Chinese, Indian, Colombian, whatever, Afghan, Japanese, English, Scottish, the Scotsman, and Uruguayan and Mexican. Viva Mexico! Long live Ireland! Fight until we die. If we can't get our freedom, do or die, baby. So that's Ireland. Let's see what Ireland is telling us. Ireland says, okay, doesn't matter what kind of vaccination status you have. It doesn't matter. You can be fully or zero. Come on in. They want to boost local tourism, the local tourism sector in Ireland. They're a happy bunch, the Irish. And I found out that they were because of all the friends that I have and the people I met that are Irish and Irish American there in Woodside, New York, and in Sunnyside, New York, too. I remember all the Irish Americans at Donovan's Pub and everything. They're around 58th Street, 59th, right there by the church, by the St. Sebastian's Church in Woodside, New York. So they want tourism to pick up again, the tourism sector, because the tourism sector all over the world has been battered, has been really hurt. And they want it. So they say no more restrictions, no more masks, nothing, no passenger locator form required anymore. You don't have to fill out Jack Diddley, no PCR, no whatever, no nothing, no Jack Diddley. Come on down and visit Ireland. And Mike, man, you went to Ireland, didn't you? Tell us how good Ireland is. How much do you love Ireland? Easy Riders in the house. What's up? Mike, thanks for the donation. I didn't know you had done a donation. I'm just catching up with the messages in the chat. What's up, Easy Rider and El Transportador de Colombia? Hey, Jason, El Transportador de Colombia. What's up, Jason? What's up? No more masks in Brazil. Hey, thanks for that information, handsome B boy, handsome B, Wonder Boy. Excellent. Thanks, man. Thanks for the donation, for helping out. It's always welcome. So, Mike, tell us how cool is Ireland? I got to go to Ireland. It's definitely on my high priority list of places to visit. Ireland, the luck of the Irish. I definitely want to go to Ireland. And John, your brother, Johnny Boy, Johnny Ferrari, Johnny Cadillac, Johnny Hollywood. If any of you want to see some of the vlogs, cool vlogs that Johnny Boy and I did, we did them in December when he came to visit for a week. He came for the first time in his life to Colombia to visit for a week. John O'Neill. And it was cool. Wow. Get a different view here. So tell us, who wants to visit Ireland? Who wants to go to Ireland? I want to go to Ireland. I want to go to Ireland. And I hope after I make my trip to India and Asia and everything next year, and I stay there for some time in Asia, Southeast Asia, and then I come back to Colombia to see my doggies, my family, and all, and rest for a couple of months here. Boom. Then I want to go off to Ireland because I believe in the Irish, and they're gonna leave it like that. No more restrictions ever again. We've had enough of all of them. We've had enough. The next place on the list is Malaysia. 5 days ago, Malaysia. Okay, wait, it's been 34 years. What, Mikey? What are you saying? It's been 34 years since you've been back. Whoa, that's been a long time, man. Yeah. Also, it was John that went back with his daughter back a few years ago. Okay. Oh, you're 10% Scot, the Scotsman. Let's get a kilt for you, brother, and play some bagpipes like Rowdy Piper. Rowdy Piper. I didn't know that part about you. You had 10% Scotsman blood in you. You should check out Dale Phillip. He's a Scotsman, and he's traveling through Pakistan right now, and he's back in Asia. Dale, Dale Phillip, last name Phillip. He's a cool vlogger on YouTube and mostly does food vloggies these days and some other stuff in Pakistan right now. He's been to India, he's been to Sri Lanka, I think, but mostly India. That's where he blew up big like a supernova. He's doing pretty well, and he's pretty funny. He says, I gotta take a wee. I gotta go here and take a wee. Where can I take a wee? And for those of you who don't know what a wee is to go and urinate somewhere. So Malaysia, 5 days ago, Malaysia said it will reopen its borders after nearly 2 years of being closed to international travelers on April 1st. They were basically closed almost to everybody. I think they only let a few people in only because of very essential travel or something like that. So Malaysia is reopening this April 1st in about 2 weeks time. Yeah, 2 weeks time, a little bit over 2 weeks time, opening up again. And quarantine on arrival only if you don't take a PCR test. You gotta take a PCR test so you don't have to quarantine in Malaysia. But they say you have to take it, and 2 days before departure, and then a rapid antigen test within 24 hours of arrival in Malaysia. So Malaysia hasn't really loosened up all of it. It's loosened up some things, but still that's a hassle. I mean, we want to travel hassle-free. Who wants to travel hassle-free? Put a thumbs up in the chat, just a thumbs up. If you want to travel hassle-free to other countries, zero quarantine, zero pricks up your nose and turns like the cotton swab up to your brain, it comes out through your head like you're doing the seventh chakra and whoa, I reached illumination. No, that's not enlightenment. It's the thing coming out of your head, out of the crown. We want hassle-free travel in the world like it used to be. We want it. Don't you want it? I want it. I want to be able to go to other countries without having to worry that they're changing restrictions again here and there. And then they're telling me, oh, sorry, friend, while you were on the plane coming here, some of the restrictions we had, we made them stronger. You got to quarantine again. I'm like, what? What are you kidding me? No. Oh, no, we have to turn you back because we're turning everybody back now. Well, I'm losing my money. I can't get my money back. You know, who wants hassle-free? Give us a thumbs up in the chat. Hassle-free travel around the world. Or at least to the countries you want to go to. But it'll be around the world the best thing. Hassle-free, hassle-free. Who wants hassle-free? Thumbs up, please. So, and in Malaysia, foreigners will also be required to fill out a pre-departure travel form and will not need to get a My Travel Pass permit. That's the news from Malaysia. Yeah, the thumbs up are like when you're about to write, then something pops up on your little screen, like a little happy face. And if you hit the little happy face thing, it shows you all the little emoticons and whatever, I think. If I remember correctly, when I've gone on to other people's live streams and left messages or thumbs up and whatever, or a flag, like Ace Live has done that before. Let's see what else. Yeah, your uncle. I remember John told me about your uncle and the cattle and the property you guys got there, and you're going to start fencing it off soon there in Ireland. Let's talk about the Maldives. Next country. Wait a minute. Who wants to travel to Malaysia? Who wants to travel there to Malaysia? Down there in the Southeast Asian continent, right off the mainland, Malaysia. Who wants to travel to Malaysia? Who feels like a nap? You're taking a nap. Handsome B Wonder Boy wants to travel to Malaysia. And where do you want to travel, Martina and Elena? Her name is Elena. She's a border collie. Elena, Elenita. They destroyed the furniture. That's their furniture these days. Used to be my furniture a long time ago. I paid a pretty penny, but that was back in 2000. What was it, 2006? 2007. Then I gave the furniture away to my auntie. This used to be her property. And then they let the furniture go south. I used to take very good care of it. I paid a pretty penny. I had it upholstered in these type of fabrics and all. But this is a far cry from what my old living room used to look like when I had an apartment in Envigado. I don't have anything anymore. I have no properties, nothing. Just my clothing, my equipment for work, in terms of my laptop and whatever. Call me a light traveler or light whatever, but one day I would like to have my own property again. Right now, I'm just kind of like a free bird, Leonard Skinner style. So Malaysia, Malaysia. Oh, thanks a lot, Johnny Boy. To Johnny Boy, send him a shout out back, too. I gotta email him and say what's up to Johnny Hollywood. He came here for a week. Like I said, guys, if you haven't seen those videos, those vlogs I made in December, when we went to Guatapé and whatnot, and La Setenta, Boulevard La Setenta, Jerris Park, up in Provenza. Yeah, he loved it a lot. He's planning to come back this year, sometime this year, and our doors are welcome to him. He stayed over at my mom's place. My mom and John go back, way back. My mom knows John, and John knows my mom since the 80s, since we arrived in New York, basically. The Maldives. 6 days ago, the Maldives, those little islands there in the Pacific somewhere, off the Indian Ocean, they removed PCR test requirements for vaccinated travelers. Only for vaccinated travelers. If you're a vaccinated traveler, you do not have to submit a PCR test. You do not have to go through that. You don't even need what else here? Even because even in the Maldives, even after you had arrived before there with a PCR test, and when you were about to leave the Maldives back to your country, wherever you were flying to, they also required you until recently that you also had to get another PCR test to leave the country. You had to get one to arrive, to fly there, and then one to leave. And now they say that you don't even have to get a PCR test before leaving the Maldives. And it says all arriving passengers still need to complete the traveler health declaration form within 48 hours of the flight. Like when you're about to, if you got up to 48 hours before departure time to fill out that traveler health declaration form to the Maldives. Anybody want to travel to the Maldives? Any of you want to go to the Maldives? Yeah, I hear you. This is the inside of the house. These days, it's just their house, and the person that lives here, a friend of my dad's, taking care of them. My dad doesn't have any furniture here because all the furniture that was in here belonged to his sister, and she took almost all the furniture. And he doesn't live here yet, so as soon as he moves here, he's gonna get furniture. There's only this dining table that my dad's sister, my auntie, said he could have, but the refrigerator is My dad's and mine. I bought it with my dad. We bought it in company 50-50 2 years ago when I was living here. Paid a pretty penny for that too. A nice Samsung inverter technology. And I love something I got here. Look at this. Who are they? Who are they? They're giving me blessings now. And to you guys too. Look, that's Parvati and Shiva. Parvati is on the right. Shiva is on the left. Wait a minute. Shiva's got the trident. Shiva's the man. Don't get confused. Mahadev, Shiva, and his wife Parvati. And then you got Ganesh on Parvati's lap, and Kartikeya, his brother, on Shiva's lap. And then you got the Shiva Linga there. I got this as a gift from somebody from that had gone to India before I went to India, and they gave me that. And there is a place I want to visit. I've never been to Paris or Europe, but I've always wanted to go to France, especially Paris, to practice my French. I want to go to a café. Excusez-moi, garçon, je voudrais un petit croissant avec un petit café, s'il vous plaît. And practice whatever other French I can remember. And doggy clinic here in Rio Negro. So this is my dad. Now, so that's the Maldives. Anybody want to travel to the Maldives? Jamaica is the next country. Jamaica, back on March 1st, said that all international visitors to the island no longer need to get travel authorization to enter. Travelers 12 years or older will only need to provide a negative COVID-19 antigen test or PCR within 72 hours prior to flight time. Travel-related quarantine no longer necessary. Let me be clear. You still need to be completely jabbed. You have to have the complete thing done. The two of them, the one or the two that you need, depending on the company you're using, the pharmaceutical thing. You still need that. It's not like you can go. It's not like Ireland. Ireland said, if you have it, if you don't have it, come on down. You're next on the Price is Right. That's Ireland. But not Jamaica. Jamaica is still requiring that you show that certificate, that you have received all of it, whether it be the one or two. They're not asking for the booster club yet. They're not asking for the booster club, but they are asking, well, I don't know if they're asking for the booster club, but it's a complete certificate that is done. Iceland. Wait a minute, who wants to go down to Jamaica, to the bobsled team? Jamaica, Jamaica, Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica. I have wanted to go to Jamaica, but it's not high. It's in the middle of my to visit list, countries to visit list. Let's talk about that in a moment. Hey guys, can you, in the chat, those of you who want to, can you write the 7 countries you would most love to visit that you have never visited in the world? The 7 countries, lucky 7. Come on, lucky 7. The 7 countries you would love to visit, you have never visited, but you want to. 7 countries. I'll tell you what my 7 are right now that I've never visited. I've never visited. I can't include India because I've been to India already. But I would have to say that, and there's no particular order which is more important than the other. I'm just telling you the 7 countries that I want to visit that I have never visited in the world. Ireland is one of them. Ireland is one of them. Yes, I do want to visit Ireland. I have always had Ireland on my mind for years and years, since probably the 80s or the 90s. Also, I want to visit France ever since I was a 14-year-old kid or 13 years old, and I started studying French in 7th grade in junior high school in the States, in New York City. I've wanted to visit France, especially Brigitte. What's her name? The famous French actress, Brigitte Bardot, something, I forgot. She was so beautiful, such a good actress. So France has always been like the top country I've always wanted to visit, top. Even before I ever found out about India or any other country, it has always been France at the top of my list. I don't know why I haven't gone there yet, but it's been on the top of my list. Ireland is It's the second one. Third country that I really want to visit too, in this lifetime, in the next 10 years or less, Egypt. I want to visit Egypt. There's something about Egypt that just grabs my attention big time. Cairo and whatever in the pyramids, but it's especially not the pyramids. The pyramids are cool, but it's being in the city of Cairo and Alexandria and going through those alleyways and hearing that music and hearing that language and seeing the culture similar to how you see it in India, in Delhi and in Mumbai and whatever. Not similar in terms of language, it's just a similar way of life. People are so like, I don't know, just living. I've never been there, but Egypt is the third country I would like to visit in this lifetime, in the next 10 years or less. Hopefully in the next 7 years. Let's make it 7 years, not 10. In the next 7 years, I want to visit France, Ireland, Egypt. The fourth country I want to visit that has been on my mind a lot in the last few years, Nepal. Nepal. There's something about Nepal. Ooh, Tibet. Nepal is the fourth and Tibet is the fifth country, Tibet. But I have to go through China. China is not high on my list, not even in my mid-range list. But to go to Tibet, I'll have to go through China. So Tibet is fifth on my list. And there are two more countries that I want to visit. And those two countries, I'm trying to remember which ones they are. Japan. Japan. Oh, yes, Japan. And the last one that I want to visit that are high, like the top 7 countries I really want to visit that I have yet to visit. And the 7th country, the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic. I remember I started to think about that country when I saw that In Excess song. Remember that group from the 80s with Michael Hutchison? INXS, that was the name of the group, In Excess. And that's how they wanted you to say in excess, INXS. And the guy, he hung himself, he was depressed and whatever, but had that song, Never Tear Us Apart. And that song was filmed in Prague. And that's the city I want to visit in the Czech Republic, the former Czechoslovakia, but now the Czech Republic. Those are my 7 countries. What 7 countries do you want to visit in the next 7 years or less? Not in 10 years from now, or one day or someday. One day and someday is never in my book. In my book, when you say, one day I want to visit, someday I want to do this, that means never. Let's see what you guys are saying. So for Handsome B, Wonder Boy, Vietnam, all in Asia, Thailand, Cambodia, Bali, Malaysia, India, and Myanmar. Wow, that's cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, Japan is cool, and Nepal. Okay, the next country is Iceland. Iceland. Iceland, guys, as of February 27th, 3 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago, they lifted all COVID-19 travel restrictions. Whether you're vaccinated or not, or unvaxxed, vax or not, or unvaxxed, no quarantine requirements. You can enter, no problem. No restrictions on social gatherings in Iceland. You can go to Iceland. No quarantine requirements for those infected. 81% of the population is fully jabbed in Iceland. That's why they reopened on February 27th. On February 27th, they reopened their doors to the world. Iceland. All travel restrictions have been lifted in Iceland. Israel. Dubai. The United Arab Emirates. The same day as Iceland, they announced on February 27th that fully jabbed tourists no longer need to show a PCR. That's it. But if you're not fully jabbed, then you can't go in. Basically. Wait a minute, something here. Wait a minute, hold on. Just got to show your approved vax certificate with QR code. But PCR tests for unvaccinated travelers is a must. If you're going there, if you're If you're not vaxxed, then you do need a PCR test to enter the country 48 hours up to flight time. But if you don't have it, then you can't go. Wearing mask outdoors is optional now in Dubai. In Dubai, you can be outdoors and no mask. But if you're if you are at an indoor public space, you need to wear a mask. So that's Dubai. Dubai is not a country, it's a city or region of the United Arab Emirates. Uh, Dubai has been steadily creeping up on my list of cities, not countries, but cities or places to visit. But it's very expensive. Dale Phillip was there when the world started to reopen, the Scotsman, Dale Phillip. Check out his videos on India. Dale Phillip, he has some good videos. He did good vlogs when he was in India in 2019 and 2018, before all of this. I mean, in 2019, before all this went, down the toilet and got all crazy. Israel. On February 21st, Israel announced that as of March 1st, they were going to reopen to foreign tourists on March 1st, and that regardless of your vaccination status, you could go in, no problem. And they said everybody is welcome, but you do need a PCR test. You do need a PCR test to enter Israel, to go to Jerusalem. If you want to go to the Holy Land, the Promised Land, the land of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And Jesus Christ went to India during those 17 years he was lost. Many people say, no, 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 no. But that's what I've heard. What can I say? I can't tell you. I wasn't there interviewing Mr. Christ and say, hey, Mr. Christ, did you go to India and study under some gurus? No, I can't do that. There were no cameras in those days. But that's what some people say that have that information from long ago. So Israel, open to all foreign tourists, regardless of your status in terms of health certificates. But you do need a PCR test. One before you fly there and one when you get there. So you need two, not one, but two PCR tests. One before you fly to Israel, and the other one when you arrive at the airport. I don't know where it is, if it's at the airport or you have to schedule something within the first 24 hours after arrival. And whatever, I don't know how they're handling it. You got to go to the Israeli government website and find out how the whole situation is. Visit those countries' websites, Iceland, United Arab Emirates, everybody. Visit those websites to find out the official information. I'm just giving you what I found out from other websites that keep track of the news around the world. But the best way is the official website for each country's government. Norway. Norway, no. They removed all COVID-19 related restrictions, but I couldn't find any more information about Norway. Costa Rica on April 1st. Costa Rica, north of Colombia here in Central America, said on April 1st, you will no longer require, that the country will no longer require unvaccinated travelers to have supplemental COVID-19 medical insurance. I mean, you can still enter the country as an unvaxxed traveler, but you don't need to submit proof of C19 medical insurance. I'm going to just continue saying C19 medical insurance to enter. According to the U.S. Embassy, this is according to the U.S. Embassy. Go to the Costa Rica website, the government website, and find out if it's true. I really don't know, because it was just a lot of information to take in last night. I couldn't find all of it, but there you go. India. Wow, India had some big news that came out in the news in the last 2 or 3 days or something like that. On March 9th, India said that international flights after a 2-year ban will resume. On March 27th, that's when they're going to start again, because that's the start of the Indian summer in India. The summertime, that's when it starts getting hot. And believe me, it's true. Because when I was in India in 2019, from February to March, when I arrived in Mumbai on February 7th, 2019, at 2:30 in the morning, the temperatures were not hot. They was kind of like cool to warm, but they were not hot. in Mumbai, Bombay, on February 7th. And then I stayed there for 4 days, and I traveled out in many places in North India for 48 days. And when I returned back to Mumbai on Bombay on March 25th, because I had to fly out on the 27th, was it on the 28th of March? I had to fly out to Miami. When I got back, oh, the temperatures were sweltering hot, super muggy, sticky, like 100% humidity. And it was like in the morning, around 8 o'clock in the morning, it was already like 85 degrees, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And by noon, it was like 94. No joke. As the beginning of summer in India, especially for the whole subcontinent. So that's when Indian summer begins. And all the way from late March all the way to like July. That's Indian summer. It's hot. So India said, and this was contrary to some earlier news this month, back on like March 2nd or 3rd, when the government had disappointed the tourism industry by ordering to extend the ban indefinitely in spite of a sharp drop in the country's daily C-19 cases. A sharp drop. But the Minister of Civil Aviation of India Civil Aviation, his name is Jyoti Raditya M. Scindia, in a tweet, he said, no, we're changing. We want to reactivate the tourism industry and everything, the tourism sector that has been really hard hit. And I know people because I stayed with people there in Airbnb, and I made friends with these Airbnb owners in Bhubaneswar, in Puri, in Rishikesh, in Varanasi, in Bodh Gaya, in those places. And they told me that their listings, their people, foreigners were not, we haven't been able to go there for 2 years. Only back in November last year, India reopened for a few days, only temporarily. They gave 1 month visas for free. But then with the old variant coming out, remember back in late November, then India decided to stop it because they were going to fully open again on December 15th. They had opened on November 15th, but they only to those people they had given 1 month free e-visas that people applied. I remember there was a special promotion that the Indian government was doing. They were giving away 500,000 free 1 month e-visas, electronic visas, to people who met the requirements, that were fully, vaxxed and everything, and had proof of round trip tickets and lodging and everything. But with the whole thing that happened in late November and all of December and early January with the O variant, they decided to say, no, we're not going to reopen the country on December 15th. But now, March 27th, India. I wish I had the money. If I had the money right now, guys, believe me, if I had the money right now to go to India and stay there for 6 months, which is my plan, and stay in all of Asia for 2 years, and mostly in India, and to go to other countries like Thailand and Nepal and whatever, I would go. But I can't. Sadly, I can't. And I met a beautiful Indian family last night when I was doing that live stream. Karina saw it. Rahul, his mother Sarita, and his father Vindir. But he said like Vladimir, but I couldn't remember the exact name. Cool family. And it was a blessing. The universe saying, hold on, Eddie, traveling Eddie, just hold on. Be patient, son. You will return to India. You will return. Just be patient. Keep doing your meditation. Keep working. Keep saving. Keep on trucking. So India, March 27th. Basically that. In Colombia, no travel news about Colombia. Nothing has changed in terms of you guys being able to come to Colombia. You still need to be fully vaxxed. You need to provide proof of being fully vaxxed. And you do need to, I don't remember if they took away the PCR test or not to come in. I don't remember that. Just check out the government site. I was looking last night and this morning, but I couldn't find any concrete information on if they still are requiring people who are fully vaxxed to show a PCR test or antigen test 72 hours before departure to Colombia. But if you're in the country now, most places you don't need to wear a mask. And restaurants are not really carding people in terms of showing health certificates to enter their restaurants or their nightclubs, because the tourism industry here and the restaurant industry and everything related to semi-related to tourism industry has been hurting big time, and they just want business to get back on track. Let me see if anybody has said anything to me so far. So that's all the travel update news I got for you guys. Oh yeah, man, that's what I want. I want to get to India, back to India. I want it so bad. I really want it really badly. Thanks. It's patience, and I've got good work going now. Karina says India, Colombia, Jamaica. Cool, cool, Karina. And handsome B Wonder Boy says Colombia's on your list. And I know Michael has also expressed interest in coming to Colombia before. Yeah, I got to get a lot of my French back. Yeah, I'll check out my IG messages. I'm on Instagram, guys, under Traveling Eddie One. Traveling Eddie One. Also, you want to go to the Maldives, Malaysia? Fuck it. I love that punt. In that, fuck it. I want to go to fuck it. I want to go to that island of fuck it. The island that belongs to Thailand, right off the coast of Thailand. Fuck it, whatever. And India, yeah. So yeah, forget one day, Michael. I saw this interesting sign when I was coming up on the bus today, guys. I saw this beautiful, interesting sign that it says, "A goal is a dream with a deadline." So make it your goal, Michael. Make it your goal to go to India. Make it your goal to go to Malaysia. Make it your goal to go to the Maldives. Make it your goal to go to fuck it. But don't say, oh, no, I don't want to, it's too much. Just forget, fuck it. No, no, no. Make it a goal. Because in Spanish it said, una meta es un sueño con fecha límite. Fecha límite means deadline. So that is the universe sending me messages. I just happened to look out the left side of the window because I was sitting on the left side of the bus on the passenger window, and I just looked there and it's on a billboard right at the bottom. I just happened to look out because most of the trip on the bus coming up, because I have been so tired, I'm still tired. I was just sleeping or trying to sleep and closing my eyes, and then I just opened my eyes for a little while, and I looked to the left, and as we're passing by that billboard on the left side of the highway, here it says, "A goal is a dream with a deadline." And my deadline for returning to India and visiting other places in Southeast Asia and in Asia is between basically between April 1st to October something, 2023. Not this April 1st, I wish. And it's not April Fools like in the United States where April 1st is April Fool's Day. It's my goal, and it's going to happen because I'm batting down the hatches. I'm tightening down everything because I'm saving as much as I can, working hard, keeping it a simple life. I'm not traveling to any other country here in Colombia. I mean, in South America anyway. I'm not traveling to any country. I'm not spending money on anything except on my new laptop that I will be buying in May. And I'm saving all my money so I can fly out to India next year in that time window between April 1st, 2023 to October 10th, 2023. Why October 10th? Because I want to be there in time for Diwali in India. Diwali is like the biggest festival in India. It's like so beautiful, spiritual and everything. And I want to be there to do a live stream about that and do 1 or 2 pre-recorded vlogs per week. I'm cutting down on the heavy vlogging stuff. I'm very tired. I'm going to go down as soon as all my pre-recorded vlogs finish, which they'll finish around the second week of June. I'm going only to 1 or 2 pre-recorded vlogs per week. Yeah, it is my thing about traveling. Thanks, handsome B Wonder Boy. Yeah, the live vlogs I'm doing, guys. I'm gonna try to stay as dedicated, as gun ho, as dead set on this as I can in terms of doing live streams on Friday nights after work because I work until 5 p.m. on Fridays. Then there's not a lot to do in Medellin or around, but I'm trying to find more interesting places to visit, out of the way places to live, at least to stream for 1 hour, like I did yesterday. And I'm going to continue doing live streams on Saturdays for sure. And then on Sundays, when I come to the country house here, I'll do a live stream. If there are any new travel updates, I'll do one here at the country house on Sundays. Or some days when there's nothing about here, then I'll see if I could go all the way to the top of the mountain. And if I have a good signal, then I'll try to do a live stream from up there where you can see the whole panorama to the Medellin side, but to see Copacabana. And then other times I'll see if I could have a good signal and just go walking in the countryside and do a walk and talk live stream on Sundays. I'm going to try to keep this going as long as I can because it is tiring, because I'm very tired from a lot of things that are happening in my personal life. Don't want to get into them anymore because the idea is to keep happy-go-lucky. But the physical body does require rest. And I'm going to do my best. Keep doing my best like handsome B Wonder Boy tells me. Let's see if you can see more of the property here. Let's see how far the signal, the Wi-Fi signal reaches here. Yeah, I'm going to go rest in a few. I'm going to go have lunch in a few. Yeah, so look at the rest of the property here. Look at the rest of the property. And Mike, thanks for the donation again. All these donations do help because my channel is monetized now. So I'm going to get my first paycheck in April. I've sorted out all the situation with YouTube. Everything has been confirmed, verified with YouTube, Google AdSense. And look at this. This is the rest of my dad's property here. This is his, that side, this side. Let's see if we can see the neighbor's horse. The horse, the neighbor has a horse. That's the kitchen I was telling you about. Guys, the old makeshift kitchen right there. Perritos, lindos, doggies, my children. There goes Cirilo, that's little Junior. Cirilo, buddy. Yeah, lindo hermoso. He's a 1.5 years old. And the other guys, they're all taking a nap up there now. But the girls over here came down. Look, little girls there. I went walking this morning until 1 p.m. with that one, the black one right there, that one, Eva, and with 2 others. Here comes Max. Here comes Max. And the other 2 are probably sleeping that I went with walking. And there goes the neighbor's horse. You want to see a horse? The neighbor's horse is right over there, white horse. Like the name of the street. Look at the horse. Horsey, caballito. Wagging its tail because I'm calling the horsey. Maximo, do not bark at the horse. It's just a horsey. So it's a horse over there on the neighbor's property. All this, and my dad's property continues down this way. He just fenced it up to here because it's very expensive. But all that, like you see that bamboo, is called guadua. Guadua. This is an avocado tree here. This is an avocado tree, but it has some avocados hanging on it, but I don't know. Oops, got caught on the barbed wire right there because some of the doggies were escaping through here. So my dad's property goes down to where you see that other structure, maybe that other structure over there. But that other structure is the other property from the neighbors beyond. And some of my doggies I adopted were born on that property over there on that other side. So my dad just waiting to make more money so he can fence off the rest of the property. He wants to fence off the rest. This is Kayla. It's Kayla right there. There's a helicopter approaching. Let's see, maybe it's military. Because today's election day, remember, election day for House of Representatives and the Senate. Yeah, it's a military helicopter. Maybe you guys will see it. Let's see. It's a military chopper right there. It's a military, Colombian military chopper. I was trying to zoom in, but it won't let me. There goes the helicopter. It's a military chopper. The military is patrolling the highway because they're patrolling the highway. Fresh fruit, but some of this fresh fruit is very sour, like these oranges. They're called sour oranges. Naranja agria. Sour oranges. They're good for remedies when you have a cold or you have or the flu or something. These are called sour oranges. These are natural. No pesticides, nothing on them. They're sour. And some are very big like this one. Look at this. Big one. But they're not heavy. They don't have a lot of juice. So like a lot of skin and inside flesh and the outer peel and everything. And then maybe I'll get a tangerine over here. I'm gonna get a little tangerine, and I'll eat that. Fulfill Michael's dream of seeing somebody pick some fresh fruit, Mikey boy, and eating the fresh fruit. Let me get one of these little tangerinis here. Tangerine, which one? Excuse me, Mother Earth. Excuse me, Madrecita. I'm gonna take one of your children here. Well, I say children because it's their fruit, the fruit they bear. Thank you. I almost always ask for permission. So I got it right here. Let's see. I can peel it a little bit and see how it tastes. See if it's ripe enough. Just peeling it off. As you can see, I'm peeling it. I really do thank everybody for for being here, for having come on a Sunday. Look, tangerine. Wow, that's a nice sweet taste to it. Nice sweet taste. It's been a while since I've eaten these. I'm gonna take some home today to eat at home this week. I'm gonna pick them later on. You're not supposed to pick them at this hour because the sun is still hot, but I'm on the light side where the shade is. Yeah, these things are good. Very delicious. And they're about this big. They're little tangerines. There you go, Mikey. I picked a tangerine and I ate it. And look at these things. They almost look like lotus flowers. Look at these. And these are natural plants. I just don't know what they're called. And it looks like a lotus flower. And then that thing looks like an old phono record. Like a phono, when they used to play the old records. Wow. So guys, let me see if anybody has said anything anymore before we end the chat today. Oh yes, totally. I found that in the family yesterday, and that sign today that says, yeah, you're welcome, Mikey boy. I'm going after my dreams for sure. All the way gun-ho. All the way gun-ho. So guys, I want to say goodbye. The birds are chirping. I forgot to bring bananas for them. And they expect bananas from me. They're up there chirping. But I'm tired this morning. I forgot to bring the bananas I was going to bring. I was going to bring some bananas and a bottle of juice to drink here. And I forgot those two things. Can't win them all. Guys, I hope you have a beautiful Sunday and everything. And I will do my best to keep doing live streams on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. If for some reason I don't do a live stream on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's for one or two reasons. First reason would be the most probable one. It's raining. It's raining. And if it's raining, I can't do anything on a Friday or Saturday. And the second reason would be if I don't do a live stream, it's because I'm so darn tired that day I'm so pooped out on a Friday or a Saturday, because on Saturdays I go mountain biking, and soon a vlog that I made about 3 weeks ago of one of those mountain biking experiences in El Carmen de Burwal, it will come out in 3 parts because for some reason my video editing app wasn't working and it wouldn't let me edit all the little clips into one video. So it's going to be 3 parts, short parts, but 3 parts, the mountain biking. So if we're on a Saturday I don't do live, it could be because the weather sucks, rain, or I'm definitely kaput, tired, like I am right now. Not totally tired right now, but I am tired. And on Sundays, you can expect the live stream, even if it's raining, because I'll be here at the country house and we'll talk about something if it is just for an hour. I'll find some good topics to talk about. On Sundays, they're pretty much guaranteed. Nothing is 100% guaranteed, but they're guaranteed. Pretty much. Have a good one. Enjoy your day, everybody. Karina, ciao. Mike, Wonder B Boy, Wonder Handsome B Wonder Boy. Everybody else, Easy Rider, everybody that came. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy. Ciao. Freedom, 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 freedom. Always democracy, freedom. Even with its errors and mistakes and impurities, freedom above all. Good freedom, as long as we don't offend others. Ciao. Bye bye. Freedom number one. Yes. Thank you, Karina. Thank you. Gracias, Karina. Dhanyavad. Bahut, bahut dhanyavad. Ciao, Karina.